All right, guys. Good night. Hope you all are well. Thank you very much for coming out here tonight to our latest event, which is called Financially Fit: Mastering Budgeting and Savings with Exquisite Finance. Right. So, okay. So we have a few little stragglers entering. I want to let them in before we begin. But this meeting is also being recorded and will be uploaded to the YouTube channel as well, just in case you want to take notes or you want to go back to it later to get some epic tips and tricks. All right. Now, I want to introduce our guest here tonight, Miss Candice Hughes. I wonder if I should pin her to the screen here. Nice. Hope you guys could see her right now. Now, Candice is an entrepreneur who runs multiple businesses. She has not always been financially savvy, like the rest of us, coming from humble beginnings in Sandy Grande. She actually received a scholarship and completed her undergrad at the Pacific Lutheran University, which is pretty cool. As a single mother, she has always had to become better with her money, and with the pandemic, it only exacerbated that. Today, she has added financial coaching to her accolades as she wants to inspire others to manage their money so they can live the life they want. So let's welcome Miss Candice Hughes. Thank you again, Candice, for coming out here tonight.
Thank you so much for having me. Are you all hearing me?
I'm
All
hearing you.
right.
Yeah.
So we have great, great, great. Now, many people have their screens turned off, so we want it to be very interactive. So if I ask any questions, you can feel free to raise your hands and answer, or you can answer in the chat as well, and we'll see those messages coming in. Thank you so much for having me here tonight. We have so much to cover. There's so much to talk about when it comes to money management. So I want to dive right in. But before we do that, I want to establish some community standards so we know how we're going to run things tonight. So as I mentioned, we have the raise hand icon at the bottom. If you have a question, if you have a comment, you can feel free to raise your hand. We will call upon your name and then you can unmute yourself and speak. Also, feel free to contribute throughout. This is going to be a discussion. We want to hear from you. It's not just me lecturing to you, but it's also you giving your input and your feedback. And also having respect for each other when someone else is speaking, to make sure and mute all mics so that we can hear each other's contribution effectively. And finally, to remember that nobody knows everything. I too am still on the learning journey, always reading, always learning, always increasing my knowledge. So we are here to learn from each other and partner together to be able to become better financially fit for the life ahead. All right. So as mentioned, my name is Candice. I will be here with you for a little while, and hopefully we'll be able to touch on some many things that you know already, things that you don't know, information that we can share to help you as we continue to navigate our finances. So first of all, I want to let you know that for you to do better, you have to know better. And knowing better means that you have to gain knowledge. I cannot do anything that I don't know how to do. Agreed? You can give a thumbs up in the chat if you like. Agreed? I can't just start swimming in the beach if I didn't learn how to swim. And so it is the same thing with your finances. You have to improve your skills. And this is your first step to your financial wellness by coming on a meeting, a workshop such as this. Right? So the question I would ask you, where did you learn about money? And you can put your hand up. Christina has her thumbs up. Thank you for that. Where did you learn about money? Where did you learn about money? How did you learn about money? Where did you learn that? Did you learn it from your parents? Did you learn it from your family members? Where did you learn about money? And I might just call on people. Tamika, I'm seeing you there on the screen. You can unmute and answer. Where did you learn about money, Tamika? Darlene said school. All right, that's good. We have from parents. Josiah, your camera is coming on. Would you like to share with us? Where did you learn about money? Someone said YouTube. Do we believe everything that we see online? School. Tamika, are you there with us?
Good night, good night.
Good night, Josiah. Where did you learn about money?
Well, I kind of learn of a mix of social media,
Right?
a little bit of YouTube.
Right?
For mix place, I don't really have like a particular source. Oh
Gotcha.
yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Thank you so much for that. Anyone else? Anyone else? Where did you learn about money? We have too many people in here for us to have some silence. I hear some parents again. That's Keisha. All right. Good answers. Now, a lot of people will say, nobody taught me about money. I don't know anything. Nobody taught me about money. But really, and in fact, your parents, your family, and your community would have taught you a lot about money. And sometimes within the psychology, they may not have said anything directly, but the way that they would have handled money, the way they would have mismanaged money, the way they would have bad spent money, taught you something about money. The way they cut and contrive, the way they penny pinch, the way everything, they don't have no money for that. That teaches you something about money. And it has been stated that the way that you think about money and the way that you see money affects the way that you handle money. Right? Growing up, I remember my mother would always say, don't let man know about your money. Right? Anybody had that? Thumbs up. Anybody? Parents would say stuff like that. Like, you have money, don't let a man know about your money. Rachel, you know about that? Right? And so that develops a particular psychology in your mind towards your money. Right? Yes, Keisha laughing. Right? Yes, Josiah. Go right ahead.
No, sorry, no, that was a mistake. I
All right,
just,
no problem.
yeah.
So theory has it that there are four ways that you begin to analyze and think about money. One is avoidance. Some people don't like to talk about money at all. Money, politics, and religion, them is treating we don't talk about in this house. We don't talk about money. Your parents never said anything to you directly, as in, this is how you manage, this is how you budget, this is what you do with your money. They don't talk about it. Another way would be to worship money. Money is be all and end all. Everything revolves around money, money, money. It's like you're running down money in this worship mentality. Another school of thought is that people become very vigilant with money, but vigilant to the point where they are penny pinching. They save, 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 and they don't enjoy the hard labor, the hard work. And I'm sure we know people like that. Not so? Thumbs up if you know anybody like that. They're only saving, saving, saving. What them saving so far, they don't even enjoy the money that they are saving and the hard work that they're doing to save that money. Right? Somebody says, he who has cash is king. That's a philosophy that people have, right? And even so, the last one is status. And that what you just said there in the chat really reflects that. Who has cash is king, right? You build your status based on money. So much so that you might spend money you don't have to impress people you don't even like. Let me be real. You're buying things to impress people because you are of the opinion that your status is based on your money. Right? And when people see you with this kind of car and living in this kind of house, they think of you in a particular kind of way. And so you build your life around that, pleasing others, putting on an image because you believe money in that way. Yeah? Does anybody have any other way that they thought about money? Sometimes you have to sit and wonder, how do I think about money and how is it affecting the way that I now handle the money that I have? So your psychology of money is very, very important at your beginning stages to understand, because sometimes you're spending. You don't even understand. You don't even know why you're spending. You just like to spend, or so you say. But when you start to understand why, that psychology, what was I taught as a child growing up? We had to make ends meet. It's hand-me-downs. We didn't have. So you grew up in a scarcity mindset. And therefore now you're operating out of that same mindset. For me, I operate out of an abundance mindset. And you wouldn't believe where that started. As a child growing up, I have a mole in my hand. I don't know if you can see it. I have a mole right there. And I remember somebody said to me once, hey, you have a mole in your hand. You know what that means? I said, no. They said it means you will always have money. Even if your money run low, you will always have money. Whether that be true or not, I believed it. And I said, I like how that song. I will always have money. And I adopted that abundance mindset that I will always have. And because of that, I always have. Because I think in that way. I'm operating from that standpoint, not out of scarcity, but out of abundance. Even when the money running low, don't worry, I will always have. So the way that you think about money is very, very, very important. And somebody says, I have one, two, and a fourth. Let me see what the person is saying there in the chat. Somebody just said, I have one, two, and I fought and got rid of it. What? You can get rid of your thing? How could you get rid of your mole in your hand? No. But that just shows you that what you believe and what you think becomes your reality, right? So we want to begin right there, changing our mindset. So my first point there is that you have to take the steps to improve your financial literacy. Someone said they learned about money in school, but for the majority of us, school doesn't teach you about money. Do you know why? Can anybody tell me why? We have Krishna there. I'm seeing Krishna. Krishna, are you with us? Could you tell us why you think school does not, on a general sense, teach you about money? Krishna, are you there? Anybody else? Someone can just unmute themselves and tell us, what are your thoughts on that? Anyone? No?
See Angela. Angela raise her hand.
It says power. Somebody. Okay, go right ahead.
Okay, some people conspiracy theory says it's because the government wants us under their control. So
All
if they
right.
teach us about it in school, then we'll have the knowledge about it and we won't necessarily need them.
Right. Do you think so?
Yeah, to an extent.
Mm-hmm. If you have a business that is benefiting off of the ignorance of people in a particular area, would you empower them with that knowledge? No. If the bank is going to benefit from you not knowing, because the bank is benefiting from the people who don't know how to manage their money. So they are mismanaging their money. So therefore they're getting themselves in debt. Now their interest rates are higher. They can charge you more interest and they're making more money off of you. So they're not going to want to empower you with that knowledge, because that knowledge is going to make you smart, going to make you savvy. If you pay off your credit card every month, that bill comes, you pay it off. Do you know what you are called? By the bank, by the banking industry, you're called a deadbeat. They don't like people like you. They don't like people like me who pay off my credit card every month. They're making no money off of me. And in the meanwhile, I am benefiting off of them because I am racking up my miles every time I spend and I'm flying all over the place. Right? They don't want that. So school doesn't generally teach you about money. Someone says, Darlene says it teaches you how to count it, but not spend it. You're right. So it's trying to create people who can go out, who have a skill to go out and make money, but they're not teaching you how to spend the money, how to manage the money, how to invest the money. They're not. So that financial literacy is key, and it is your responsibility. You are responsible for your financial knowledge, no one else. So you have to take up the mindset, I have to invest in myself. I have to look for free online courses. I have to find books to read. I have to go on YouTube. I have to find podcasts because I need to invest in my financial literacy. You cannot do better if you don't know better. And if you find yourself every month living paycheck to paycheck, is there anybody like that? Thumbs up. Anybody like that? Paycheck to paycheck, round and round, every month. You find yourself in the same thing over and over and over and over and over. Then
Hi
you need to
there.
live differently. Go ahead, Krishna.
Yeah, sorry about that. I was trying to
That's
get on.
okay.
I'm not only Krishna, but I'm Christina too, because you called me
All
Christina
right.
earlier. But that's
Wonderful.
okay. I'm a Trin Begonian, so people call me yes, Krishna and Christina at times. Yes. Yeah. The
Great.
question you asked earlier,
Yes.
with respect to school, I think what
Mm-hmm.
they do in schools, they teach you to get an education, to get a work in
Yes.
Trinidad and Tobago,
Yes.
get
Yes.
married down the road, have come some
Mhm.
kids, work for somebody, take care of the
Right.
kid, retire, and die dead thereafter. They
You're
don't
right.
teach you to be an entrepreneur, to think for yourself,
Yes.
and it's very unfortunate that is the case. But I think right now, as time goes along, we are seeing more people who are the government and so on trying to introduce financial literacy and so on, which will hopefully help. But I think it needs to come in from the level of kindergarten, to take
Agreed.
it up further. Yeah.
Agreed. Thank you so very much for that contribution. Wonderful. Totally agree with you. From the little ones. I have a 9-year-old daughter, and I say to her, from now, I said, all right, you have $300. If you leave it in a drawer and you come back next week, how much you'll have? So she watched me. She's like, $300. Okay. And if you leave it there for a year, when you come back, how much you'll have? $300. I said, actually, you'll have less. Because by next year, your $300 is going to be worth $275. From that age, implanting that knowledge in her brain about investing, about saving, about the worth of money, and how to take that $300 and now invest it to do something. And we'll get to that. All right. So thank you so much for that. So now I ask the question, when you hear the word budget, what comes to mind? What is the words that come to your mind as soon as you hear budget? Let's put it in the chat. What are the words that come to your mind? Plan. What else? Someone said plan, structure. What else comes to your mind as soon as you hear that word? Bills, a guide. What else do you hear? Saving. Tamika hears saving. As soon as she hears budget, she's thinking about saving. What else? Is anybody not hearing a word but feeling an emotion? Oh gosh. Investment. Somebody says order. Right? Someone raised their hand. Go right ahead. Stress, yes, stress, expenses. What else do you think about? Good. Someone has their hand up. Go right ahead and unmute. I think that's Krishna again. Your hand is up. You can go ahead.
Okay. I think about when I hear budget. Yes, maybe stress and what have you, but I also think about structure, financial structure. Yeah.
Right. Great. Great. For a lot of people, when they hear the word budget, it's not a nice word,
Yeah.
right? You think instantly of having to cut back, having to take out the things that you want. Because the first things you're going to do is pay all that you have to pay. Your bills, you're buying food, you're putting gas in your car because you have to do those things. And then the money that you remain now, you're trying to juggle it. And so if there's anything to cut out, you're going to cut out the ice cream, you're going to cut out the lime, the boat ride they wanted to go. Nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to live like that. So from the time you hear budgeting, you're like, oh gosh, that's too much of work. I ain't able, the bills is stress. So then the question then becomes, what are you doing this for? For many people, you need to change that word in your mind, that it's not a budget, but it's a financial wellness plan. You have your health. You think about your health wellness. You want to go by the dentist. This is when I went for cleaning, right? You want to go by the doctor. Last year, you go on by the doctor, you check up on yourself as a woman, you do your pap smear, you do this, you do that. Your mental health. Everybody is all well aware of mental health issues now. From the time somebody's stressing you out, this is affecting my mental health. I need to take a day. What about your financial health? Your financial health can affect both your mental health, your physical health, and everything else. Anybody been under financial stress could tell you that. Financial worries is the worst thing out. Somebody say real. It's so real. Why? Because you need money to do everything, right? To pay your bills, to do that, to get food, to dress, to eat, to live. You need money. Money is intersecting in every aspect of your life. So if you have financial stress, then you have stress everywhere. You have stress on work, you have stress home, you have stress in a relationship, you have stress across the board. I say it plain. Some people doesn't like me, eh? I just say it plain. I warn and all you. But it's the truth. Financial stress is the worst thing. So then we need to kind of change how we think of it. It's not a budget, it's a guide, it's a plan, and it's helping us to get a better financial health. Because when you are there, you are now able to do many things. And that's where we come to now financial goals. Why are you doing this? Why are you embarking on this journey to start a budget and to get your wealth and your finances in an order? Why? If you do not have a goal, your budget is doomed. A budget without a goal is doomed. That's point number 2. If you do not have a goal attached to why you are making this kind of investment in yourself and in your financial journey, it's not going to last. For me, I love to travel. When I tell you, I love. I travel already for the year and I have some lined up still for the rest of the year. Some by myself and some with my children. Love to travel. So for me, when I have to sit and come up with a budget and I have to cut here or I have to do this, I sit and I say, do I want a biscuit in the drive-thru or a croissant in France? That's not a very hard decision to make. But if I did not have a goal attached to what I am doing, me able to always walk now. You see me? I go in a line. I go in on the outside. I go in on the avenue. I go and do what I do. And I'm with my friend and them. I buy any jewelry. I buy any clothes. Because so what? It's one life to live. I'm going dead anyway. That's the attitude you begin to develop. You have to have a financial goal. And your budget needs to align with that financial goal. When you get to that goal now, you feel good. And your goal might be different. It might be to buy a home, to buy a car, to buy something that you have always dreamed of, to go somewhere, to travel, right? Your goal might be to take care of your parents in a particular way because they've taken care of you all your life. Whatever your goal is, you need to attach a goal to this journey. And it is a journey. Because it didn't take overnight to get here. To have no pill in the pharmacy to just take. For your health, in 3 days after taking antibiotics, it'll start to feel better. Not so? Not with your finances. It is a journey. It is a process. It is a lifestyle that you have to adopt to be able to live the life that you want. And you deserve the life you want. Why not? You're working hard. Getting up, you're going to work every day. As Christians say, walk. You're going to work every day, working hard, Sunday to Sunday. Some people, why shouldn't you enjoy the things that life has to offer? Why not? Why do others deserve that and not you? Why must you sit on the sideline and see others enjoy traveling, doing this, posting here, there, and everywhere, and you can't? Why? You deserve it just as much as anybody else. So you have to attach financial goals, things that you're looking forward to, things that when you get it, you'll be like, yes, this was worth it. This sacrifice was worth it. The hard work was worth it. And sometimes you need to have a visual representation of that goal. So let's say you want to go to Cancun next year. That's your travel goal. I've never been there. I want to go next year. You start to print pictures. You put it up on a poster board. You make a vision board. You stick it up on your wall. Every day you wake up, you're just seeing this and you're saying, yes, Cancun 2024. 2024, here I come. It inspires you to stay on track with what you are doing. So now you decide, all right, okay, Candice, I'm going to make the budget. You have me. I agree. What are we going to do? When do you make a budget? Let's start there. When do you make a budget? Let's say you're making a budget every month. When do you make that budget? July is coming up. August is coming, September. When do you make that budget? Let's hear you in the chat. People who have attempted to before, who do make budgets, who would like to make a budget. When do you think you should make a budget? Let's hear what you have to say. When do you think you should make that budget? Josiah has your hand. Go right ahead.
Me, if it's next month, I just start the previous month, probably like the midweek, the
Right,
middle of the month.
right.
So if I know that, oh, I want to do this, I will like calculate how much will it cost. Set aside some money, some emergency money in case that something happens. So
Right.
yeah,
Why do you think doing it in the middle of the month helps you? Why does that time frame help you?
because I'm a person I just like to be prepared,
Right.
right?
So you're planning ahead.
Yeah, I'm a person I like to be plan
All
ahead
right.
because I don't like to be like in the moment
Yes.
hustling, because in the major hustling, you will forget to do something along the way.
Problems.
Yeah.
Problems.
So
Right. Great.
it better to do start early than messed up
Yes.
during while getting it done. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you so much for that. So CD said beginning of the month. Deepak said as soon as possible for the starting of each month and before getting paid. I like Latifa. Before getting paid. I being real honest with all you. See me? I just think real clear when me don't have no money. Real clear. All my bills has come to my mind, all my debts, everything I had to do, I just remember. As that money hit the account, I don't know what has happened. I just forget all what I had to do until the money done again. So just like Josiah, I like to plan for the month ahead before the beginning of the month. You see how CD said beginning of the month? I ain't even waiting for the month to start. Because the money done in my account, you're getting paid at the end of the month. I want to plan before that. When you have money, your money does get mad. Oh God, some people say, but like I get paid in front of fan. What going on? I can't see my money at all. Right? So one great thing is to try your best to make a plan ahead. This is a good week to do that. Because this is borrow week. You ain't get paid yet. So you see all tomorrow, so you're scraping your sand. Remember all kind of thing coming to your mind we had to do in July. Start to write it down this week. This week is a great week to do that. So we have when. How do we create this budget? How? Someone said before the beginning of the month, make a plan, right? And budget that money. So it is always better to do it before the month begins. So now that we decide, okay, we have a goal attached to why we are doing this budget and coming up with this great plan. We know why we're doing it. We say, all right, we're doing the budget. We know when we're doing it. The question now becomes, how do we create a budget? Many, 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 many strategies have been proposed throughout the years as to how to make a budget. And for some of us, it will take trial and error to see which one works best for us. Because financial management is not one pill fits all. What might work for you may not work for me. What might work for somebody else doesn't work for somebody else. You have to tailor what you're doing to suit you. So although it is great to talk to a friend, a family, what it is, and get ideas, it is always best for you to see what works best with you. So the first strategy many people have devised is an 80-20 plan. And what that means is that 80% of your income or your earnings, because you may have both your 9-to-5 job and you may also have a side hustle. So whatever you earn altogether, 80% goes to what you can spend. You just say, okay, this is how much I could spend, and I spend it till it's done. And the next 20% is what you're supposed to save. Now, somebody might say, well, save? I can't even save. I don't have enough money to eat and live. You talk about save? We'll come to that. Someone put in a chat, and I was coming to that next. The most popular method, one of the most popular methods, the 50-30-20 plan. What that means, 50% goes towards the things that you need. So you need food, you need shelter, you need to pay your bills, those kinds of things. 30% goes to the things that you want. If you want to go out, you want to buy clothes, you want to buy alcohol, no, that is not a need, that's a want, right? And sometimes you have to check and see what's really a need and what's a want. And 20% goes towards your savings. And a rule of thumb is that you should pay yourself first. That 20% should be paid first. You should save first before. Usually we spend first and then we save whatever we have left, if we have left. So we have to shift that around. There has to become a complete mindset and a shift in the way that we manage our money, right? Experts have done this. And I just say, if they did it and it work, then it had to be working. So I better try it. Because sometimes you sit in a place and like, that ain't gonna work. That can't work. How I could do that? I can't. And if you sit in that, then that's how it's going to be. You really can't, and you really won't, and it really wouldn't work. Remember, we spoke about mindset, and that's why we started with that. So you have to shift your mindset. And the thing is, if what you have been doing all the time has been working, you wouldn't be here. Clearly, it ain't working, so you need to do something differently, right? So the next method you can try is a zero-based method. This is where you track all of your spending and all the money that you have, everything that came in and everything that go out. And at the end, everything that came in must go out. So you have a zero-based budget. The next one is the envelope method. And finally, you have budgeting apps that can help you. There are budgeting apps such as Mint, Pocket Guard, Good Budget, and you could just search them up. Some people have everything on their phone, so it's easier for them to budget using their phone. I am a little old school. I like the pen and paper. Them apps and them I ain't too able. So for me, I have always used the envelope method, and that works well for me. The reason why I started that method is because I was an overspender. Remember, I tell you, I used to spend out all my money. So I say, see this thing? I take out all my money from my bank when they say I get paid, and I put them into envelopes. Start with the envelope method if you're an overspender. Because you see, having access to that card, and Akeem put a thumbs up, yes, having that card in your hand, and you just swipe. You just swipe. And at the end of it, but where my money gone? How many people have found themselves asking that question, where my money? But somebody like, they thief my money, boy. But where my money gone? You're pulling up your bank statement and you're going through. I feel this bank taking my money. The bank can take no money. You spend it. You spend your money. But because you are not tracking your spending and you're hoping that your brain will remember, and you can't remember your key for your car, but you expect your brain to remember every dollar that you spend. Come on, people. Let's be real now. That's not going to happen. Your brain not going to remember all of that. You buy food this morning, you can't remember what you eat, but you want your brain to remember a month's worth of spending. No. You're taxing that brain too hard. You have to track your expenses. So, these are my envelopes. Every month I have my envelopes. I put what I have to pay, food, gas. This one is food. Well, you know that food one always. Gas, miscellaneous. I have to pay Guardian because I'm insurance. Everything is here. My light bill. I have my envelopes. And last month, going on Amazon, going on Amazon, and I found one of these little envelope pocket trackers. So it's a little binder, right? You open up your little binder, and then they have the envelope. So now I ain't using paper again as helping the environment. They have these little envelopes, and trust me, I saw a store in Trinidad selling it as well. Okay? They have these little envelopes that you put into the binder. And they have these stickers that you're putting on the envelope. So, all you know what's going on from next month, you get out and bad. With my binder. Envelope method. You withdraw your money, you put it in all of the envelopes, and what this allows you to do is to only go with the money that you need. Let's say you're going to the grocery. You're going to buy a pack of rice. The rice is $35, but you only had $30 budget. What are you going to do? Yeah, you purse all your money in your bag. You're going to buy the pack of rice for $35. But if you walked with your envelope and in here only had $30, what are you going to do? You'll go back in the aisle, look for a different brand or look for a different size and buy because you only have $30. Stop walking around with all your money in your purse. That's a big problem people have. They purse and they have all their money and they're just walking around. And money not just meaning cash, but your cards. That's all your money right there. Your credit card, your debit card, all your cards in your purse and you're walking around. And you know what happened? You just swipe because you had to buy the rice. And you try to justify things in your mind and you say, I deserve this ice cream, man. I worked so hard. This month was hard, and my boss gave me a hard time. And this coworker, man, she fighting me down, boy. On work, I can't take them. I need this. I need this ice cream. Here where you start to say, I need. Really? Really? The ice cream in the wants category. All of a sudden, it's reaching the needs category. And you swipe. Right? How many people go through this on a monthly basis? All your money in your purse, all your cards in your purse, all your credit cards, your debit cards, and all your cash in your purse. How many people have that? Thumbs up. How many people have that? All your money in your purse. Right? But the points on the credit card. CD says the points on the credit card. Yes. I capitalize my credit card all the time. Honestly, I do. But you will get there. If you cannot manage your money like this first, you would not be able to manage your credit card. You're going to spend it out. You're going to be in debt. You're going to be owing. They're going to be interest. And then after you max it out, and after you see the overdraft charge, and then the overdraft charge and credit card is just you know why? Because it's compounding interest. And the interest grows on the interest and on the interest and on the interest. So we need to be able to manage our money first before we head into the credit card area. We need to be able to manage our money first before we go into the investment area as well. People just want to jump to investments. You can't jump to investments. Do you know statistics have shown that people who win the lotto are broke within 2 to 3 years? And you'll say, what? But why they may give me some of that money, boy? You know what I would have do with it? You would have mismanaged it the same way you're mismanaging the little money you have right now. So it's not a matter of having more money. It's about having more knowledge. If you cannot manage $10,000 that you're getting paid every month or $5,000, you cannot manage $1 million. You can't. You don't know how to do it. Josiah, go right ahead.
I fully agree with you, but also another thing that we need to consider as well, we have to have self-discipline.
Yes.
We have to learn how to self-discipline. So when you know that,
Absolutely.
all right, you're going to grocery, you get everything that you want, but you see something that outside your range, you have to learn how to control yourself and say, hey, I cannot afford it. Maybe next month when I budget out my money, I will see if I can include it or whatever, or some kind of thing. You have to learn that balance of self-discipline because I am in the forex market, in the forex trading. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that my coach taught me is that you have to learn how to, you have to have self-discipline and you have to be patient.
Correct.
Right? And
Correct.
I realize that that goes through not only just forex trading, but financially on our whole,
Cool. Yes.
life on our whole. Yeah.
Thank you so much for that, Josiah. Anybody agrees with him? Thumbs up if anybody agrees. Anybody else has anything to add? CD says very true, which is why I only buy when I can pay it back instantly. But I still want to try this envelope method though. Try it. Try it. It just might work. Try it. We need things. We need things. Somebody said we need things in our life. Yes, we need things. When you're a stress eater, it tends to happen. So you're stressed out and you say, oh gosh, I just need this ice cream to help me feel good. I just need this syrup. I just need this drink. I just need this food. Oh gosh, I could just do with a pizza right now. And you just pass and you see the post and it's so good. That pizza looking good. I just need that. It's only $100, man. $100 you don't have. You don't have. Right? So we have to have self-discipline. I agree with Josiah. We have to have that self-discipline. Okay? It's going to take time, but it can be done. So then you say, all right, I've decided on a method and I'm going to try it. How do I save? And where? Where do I save? Where do I put that money? I've committed that every month I'm going to start small. I'm going to start with $100. I'm going to start with $200. What do I do with it? Do I leave it under my pillow? You know, them granny and them pull out under the mattress. They have money, them grannies, and them is having because they know how to save. Right? Where do you save your money and how do you save? And what are you saving for? How many people here they have one account to your name? In the bank, you have one account. How many people? Give me a thumbs up if that's you. Sunny, Deepak, Harriet, yes, anybody else? One account. Rajiv, Krishna, Brent, one account. Brent also says yes, one account. You know me, I just say it plain. Problems. That's a problem. I'm telling you as it is, that is a problem. You are not supposed to have one account. All your money mixed up. You don't know who is for emergency. You don't know who is for paying bills. You don't know who is for this. You don't know who is for that. So for people who have one account, that's where we want you to start. You cannot have all your money in one account. Your money is supposed to be placed in different accounts for different means. So one account you're supposed to have is an emergency fund. Emergency fund. An emergency fund should be liquid cash. It should not ideally be an investment because it is for an emergency. God forbid an emergency happens. Or some people will say when an emergency happens, because it's not if, it's when. But fingers crossed, we pray for good health and everything, but we have to plan for an emergency. So an emergency happens. What you have to do now? You're going and borrow. You're calling mommy. Because you live paycheck to paycheck, you don't have anything set aside in case of an emergency. That's a problem. At minimum, we are supposed to have 3 months of what we would need to live in an emergency fund. So if every month all your bills, everything that you need to pay comes up to $10,000, ideally we're supposed to have 3. At best, the best scenario is to have 6 months. What that does is that it gives you a buffer. God forbid they fire you from your job in the morning. You'll take time to find another job. That gives you that buffer to help you. You might say, but how am I saving all that money? Candace, what you talking about? How am I saving this money? What is this woman talking about, boy? You start small. Start small. Start with $100 a month. Make it an automated expense. Make it in such a way that the bank is taking it out and it's going to wherever every month. You don't even know when it's gone. Before you see your pay, that doesn't come out. $100. By the end of the year, $1,200. And if an emergency, God forbid, happen, at least you have $1,200 out of what you need. At least you have a start. How many people have the view that if somebody come and ask them, Candace Gill, hear this now. Deepak, hear this now. Josiah, hear this. Daniel, hear this now. And the pressure. I had this bill, it's $1,200. But I had 13. I just need 200. Versus somebody who come and say, I have a bill and a pressure and I have no money. Who are you more willing to help? Who are you more willing to assist? The person who have no money at all? You working all these years, you working your government work. You're working Wassa, you're working where you're working, you have $1 to your name, you have nothing. That's how people will think. At least you have a start, you have something. Something is better than nothing. So we need to work on that emergency fund. We need to start there. Start small. Put it aside and just put it aside. Automate it. Let it come out every month. You won't even know when it's gone. And before you know it, it pile up. Right? So that's the first account you really need to save. Second, a sinking fund. A sinking fund is what is necessary for expected expenses. So you have a car. Every year you pay insurance on your car. How insurance reach any other money to pay the people insurance? Christmas come once a year. It's the same date every year. It don't rotate with the moon like other events. How you don't have no money put aside for Christmas and it come in every year at the same time? These are expected expenses. Expected, right? So therefore now, you can put aside a little every month towards that. There are some credit unions that have what they call a SUSU plan. And you can decide how much goes into it every month. $100, $50. So you know by the end of the year, here what? At least I have $1,200, $1,100 towards buying gifts for my children. I saw a question in the chat. Someone asked about having in an emergency fund in the bank, would it depreciate? Absolutely. Fantastic question. Fantastic question. And we'll come to where just now. Saving your money in the bank is like saving your money under your pillow, because the interest that the bank gives you does not even cover inflation. So your money is losing value every day. Many people tend to look at other areas to save their emergency funding. They may look at a credit union where you might get 2%. It's still not covering the whole of inflation, but it's better than the bank. 2% every quarter. It's better than nothing. Some people decide to put it on their shares, or you may decide, sorry about that, or you may decide to put it on your deposits. And your deposits in your credit union gains more than if you have it on your shares, right? You're able to access the money also easier. Because remember, your emergency fund must be someone that you can access very quickly. It's an emergency. It's not something where you have to go and you apply and you have to wait and then you get a check and then the check had to take. No, you want it in such a way you can get it very quickly. Okay. There's also Roy Trin mutual funds. Roy Trin would allow you that if you need your money, you can get it as quickly as in a day. So you go and you apply today, and by the next day, the money is in your account. So you search around, look around for what works best for you. Andre said, I invest through my insurance company. That's another way that you can do that. When I say deposits being better than shares, in terms of accessing it quickly, your shares are there for the long term. And of course, it accrues that interest and you get your dividends at the end of the year. But your deposits are there that you can access it very quickly as it pertains to your emergency funds. Right? Because remember, your emergency funding, you want to be able to access that quickly. Something happened to you, something happened to about your children, you want to be able to access that quickly. Someone asked about unit trust. That's another place that you can also think about. With unit trust, you are able sometimes to get $1,000 right over the counter, according to what they have. If it's a large amount, they would give you a check. So you can access your money there as well if you have your money in unit trust, right? So look around, search around and see what works best for you. As I said, it's not a one pill fits all, but excellent, excellent questions, right? So we have that emergency fund. We want that to be liquid. Your sinking fund, you know that you need that later down in the year. That could be, you could have that in other places on your shares or whatever, because later in the year is when you're going to use that money. That's not a problem. You don't need that right at hand, but it's a plan for the near future. All right. A next area that we need to be thinking about saving, and many people do not like to talk about this, is a funeral fund. Many people do not like to even think about the fact that there will be a day when they're not here. They think about saving for the trip next year. They think about retirement. They think about all kinds of stuff. But they don't want to think about it because it's a very grim thought and it's something you don't want to think about. But especially if you're a parent, it is essential. And I will say this without fear or favor. The majority of people of color leave their children in debt at death. They leave their loved ones, their children, their offspring in debt when they die. That's a fact. Because we don't plan for that. And most people, most white people, and I say this without fear or favor, most of them, their children actually benefit from their death. So much so that it might swing to the other side where you see people killing their husband and their wife for that insurance policy. Element movies, let's be real. But it's the truth. When my mother passed away, there was nothing left for us as her children. And my mother died when I was 19. I pinched myself and I said, Candace, that will not be you. That will not be you. You will not leave your children without when you die. No, you will not. You'll put things in place. So what do? I took out an FIP plan, a family indemnity plan. It starts from as low as $100, people. That's that if, not if, but when you do pass away, at least there is something. All credit unions have it. Guardian has a policy. Too many different insurance policies have it. Different things you can say towards your funeral. The lowest plan, plan A, $52.80 a month. And the person benefits from $10,000. At least it's something. Start somewhere. Start somewhere. We know funerals are expensive. Who going and bury you? Your mother? Your children small. You should not leave that burden on your loved ones. All right? So we need to think about that. We need to think about our life insurance, taking out a life insurance plan. For me, I use my life insurance plan as wealth building for my children. That when I die, my children can cash in that life insurance and there is something for them to start another business, buy another property, invest in something else. I'm giving them one jump up. God forbid, when I pass away. Critical illness plan. Something happens to you, and all of these are through insurance. And someone asks about insurance, and they invest through the insurance, right? A lot of these are through insurances that you can do these. A critical illness plan, which helps you. So you got injured, or God forbid, you got diagnosed with an illness, right? You didn't die. You're still living, so no insurance to get, no FIP to cash out. You're still alive. But you cannot work for a period in time, or you need to do a surgery. What are you going to do? Run a barbecue? A GoFundMe page? And I am not knocking any of these means to gain and gather and sort crowdfunding. I'm not knocking any of these. But come on, people, we got to do better. You have to at least have a start. Critical illness plan is very, very, very important. Right? As someone says, critical illness funds, very important. Also an endowment plan, Andre, very good. Right? What if you're in an accident? Can you get money from your NIS? Well, I'm an entrepreneur. To be honest, I don't know much about NIS. I know when you are pregnant, you get some money there, when you're on maternity leave and that kind of thing. But I'm not sure about accident. I don't think NIS covers accidents. Right? God forbid you pass away, you would get some money there, your family could go and claim and that kind of thing. But really and truly, that's up to you to really invest and put things aside for yourself. All right? I utilize the endowment plan for my daughter. Andre says that. And you can talk to any insurance agent. An endowment plan is a great investment to put things away for your children. Lost wages when you have an accident through NIS. I think that will be a claim through your job and through your work that you would have to find out what you can get. If you're a government worker, I also know that you have Unimed. So Unimed will cover certain things there as well. If you have to make a claim for any kind of doctor visit and that kind of thing. So you may need to check out for your own self. Because I am an entrepreneur, I am not going to get a pension, right? So I have a pension plan. I'm saving for my own pension. And being straight, the pension plan that exists right now globally, because it's not only in Trinidad and Tobago, is really a glorified Ponzi scheme. To be honest, we are all hoping that we will get that money when we get there. What if that money runs out? People are making less and less children. Therefore, less and less money is going into this NIS and this pension fund that we can then draw from. People are living longer. So we have more old people to draw from that fund. Didn't you realize that they raised the retirement age in Trinidad? Why is that? To delay having to pay you. And the hope is some of us will die within that time. That's the hope. That's the truth. You have to secure your own interest. You have to, right? NIS contributions increase. Why you think? They need more, right? So we move along. We talked about the emergency fund. We talk about our sinking fund. We talk about having a retirement fund, thinking about your retirement down the road, having that money when you get older. Okay, we have to think about that. We can also have a fund if you're looking at home ownership. You're looking for a down payment on your home. You might need 10%, you might need 20%, according to what you want to buy and according to your credit and all of that. So you might need to be saving towards that. All of that is part of your financial goals. If you have children, you might be thinking about their college education. later down in life. There are different college funds. You can just be saving it on your own. UTC, Unit Trust has a college fund that you can start for your children, and you can start from as small as $100 a month, $50 a month, whatever you can afford. If you're thinking about making a large purchase, you want to make an investment, you're looking at a property, you're looking at real estate, you may want to have a separate account for that. So all your money should not be mixed up together in the bank. Just as I said, all your money should not be in your purse, in your bag, when you're going in the grocery. It's the same concept. It's the same envelope concept. Different envelopes, different accounts for different things. So that the money isn't mixed up and we know exactly what we are doing, our goals that we have set, and where we are with our goals. Any questions at this point? Any questions? You can place them in the chat. You can raise your hand as well if you have any questions. All right. What would be a good base salary for someone looking to build on these funds and investments? Yes, everyone has different expenditures and needs. But as a starting point, what do you think would be great? To be real honest with you, Deepak, you start where you are at. If your salary right now is $3,000 a month, you apply the same methods as if your salary was $3 million a month. You do same 50, 30, 20. 20% goes towards your investments. So then you say, okay, 20% of $3,000 is $600. That's all I can invest every month. So I'll put $100. I'll start with the plan A, FIP plan, $52. So I left with $548. All right. Then I go by the insurance and I say, well, listen, I have some churn and I want to get an insurance plan. Smallest I could get. I'll start with $200. Good. I'm paying that every month. So now I left with $300. I go by Unit Trust. I start with $100 there. You work with what you have. Start where you are at. The most important thing is to start. Start small. I started with Plan A, $10,000 individual benefits. That's where I started when I first took out this plan. And as my businesses grew, and as I added another stream of income, I went back and I increased. And I increased, and I increased. Yeah? Can you list out the different accounts or savings a person should have as a little recap? Absolutely. So, Akeem, sorry to have you leave, but glad you were able to join us for the time. We will be wrapping up shortly, right? So, first of all, emergency fund. And someone can write it in the chat for me, please, as we call them out, so it will be there and others can have it. Your emergency fund. A minimum of 3 months of what you would need to survive on every month. 3 months. Ideally, we want 6 months. So 3 to 6 months. But let's aim for 1 month. And then we'll aim for 3 months. And then we'll aim for the 6 months, right? Let's start there. So first of all, your emergency fund, okay? Secondly, your sinking fund. This is for expected expenses. You know your insurance coming up. You know Christmas coming in. You know you had to pay taxes. You know something that's always a birthday. Your children's birthday in August. You know that coming up. You know it's back to school. Why are you waiting for August pay to now be buying books? People, we need to stop it, eh? Stop it. No. Sinking fund. Number 3, our funeral fund. And all of these don't have to be separate accounts, but these money are in separate places. So the FIP plan is your funeral. Boom, that's there. Unit Trust is your sinking. Emergency, you have that cash in credit union, and they could be in different places. It's better to do it that way and diversify. So you don't end up where click or crash and all your money gone, all your life savings gone. Okay? Next one, retirement. You have to put aside something for your retirement. So that's number 4, retirement. Retirement. So those are the main 4. Then you can add on these. Home ownership. Some people may already own a home, so this would not apply to them. So these are additional. Home ownership. college or education, and that education can be for yourself or for your children, college or education. So these are additional large purchases that you are planning to make, and investments. Okay, wherever you're investing your money. Someone said that they do forex trading. Wherever you're investing, that's on a separate thing. So you have your emergency, you have your sinking, you have your funeral, you have your retirement. And then you have additional ones: home ownership, college, large. For me, I have a travel fund because you know I really like to travel. I tell her that. So I want for travel. I put in a certain amount every month for travel. I have to travel. I want to see the world. Come on, I'm working too hard. Somebody said they need a food fund. That goes under your needs, right? So last and least, I will touch on investing because today was really about budgeting, right? But I'll touch on investing because a lot of people always ask about investing. Investing is something that is also tailored to you. You can choose what you are willing to invest in. Many people don't know much about investing. And so you start with safety. You start with what might be safe. So you'll invest in Reutrin mutual funds. You'll invest in UTC funds. You'll invest in your credit union. These are things that are safe, you know. It's not you taking your money and going and doing trading online, right? So it all depends on where you want to invest. There are also fixed deposits that you can use for your investments as well. In those, you would save it up to 5 years, 10 years. You can decide. There is even where you can save it for a year. DFL, I believe, is the name of the company that you can do a lot of your saving in. I think it's even for a year. Let me get the name correctly. I think it's DFL. That's correct.
Yeah,
DFL.
you're correct. Yes,
Right.
Development Finance Limited. Yeah.
Correct. So they do a lot of savings as well, and you can even do it for a year. You can do it in TT and you can do it in US. If you have US currency, you can invest there as well. You can leave it up to 5 years. You can do it up to 10 years. And some Akal Bank as well. They have investments that you can put your money in. And in that way, you just put your money and you walk away, right? What that means is that you are leaving managers to manage that money. They then take your money and invest it on the stock market or in other places to then give you a return. Other people might decide, I am doing my own investment. I'm doing forex trading. I'm going online. I'm sitting behind the computer. Do understand that you need to gain knowledge. You cannot just jump on board because people hear investment and they just think, I want again more money. You can lose all your money as well. Investment is a risk. So you might want to start where you feel a little more comfortably and people manage those monies for you and just give you a little investment. Or if you really want to branch out and be a little more adventurous, a little more, taking your investment for yourself, do gain the knowledge, do take the courses, do read the books, do gain the knowledge, get a financial coach to help you to know what to do. Don't just go on those websites and just sign up. You have to have patience. You lose some days, you gain some days. And if you want to get money right now, those investments may not be for you because sometimes the return only comes as you leave your money for a long haul. All right? So just remember, you took a while to get here to this financial point. You're going to take a while to get out of it. Financial discipline is key. If you don't have a plan, your budget is doomed. Remember that. And start where you are at. Start where you're at. Thank you so much for having me today. I do financial coaching under my brand, Exquisite Finance. So feel free to reach out if you want to have a free consultation, because as I said, one pill doesn't fit all. And also I offer coaching plans so that I can help you along this journey. Let's get financially free so that we can live the life that we want. Thank you so much for having me tonight.
Uh, question, I have a question concerning the DFL stuff, right? Is it like a fixed deposit
Yes, it is.
saving?
Yes, it
All right.
is. You reach out to them, they will assign you to someone who will call you. They will ascertain what are your needs, what do you want to do, how long you want to save for, and how much you want to save. And it is like a fixed deposit, and you get particular returns on the money that you have invested, just knowing that you're going to be leaving it there for a particular period of time.
All right. Thank you.
You're Also, too, one other tidbit I want to add before you come in, Krista. Credit cards. People who have their credit cards. A lot of people have credit cards, and you hear about credit scores in America, and people don't think that that applies to Trinidad. That's not the case. People pull up your credit to see if you can get a loan. There is a place in Trinidad you can go and find out about your credit score, and that's TransUnion. You pay $93 and they pull up your credit score for you. So you could see where you are at with your credit score. You know, it's something you hear about in the US big, right? Your credit score, your credit score. It's big here too. And it affects your finances drastically if it gets out of control, right? So TransUnion, do look them up and go and find out where you are at with your credit score. Thanks.
Hi, Candice. I just wanted to say thanks so much for doing the session for everyone tonight. I really appreciate you coming out. Sorry, I wasn't here to do the greeting and the introduction, but Shivam handled it very well. So thank you again.
You are most welcome. Any final question, thoughts, or comments? Was this helpful? Give me a thumbs up if it was. If you have a question, you can leave it in the chat. Sunny enjoyed it. Angela, so glad to know that people gained some knowledge from this session tonight. I hope that you join on this wellness journey. Get your financial wellness in check. There's so much to say. I think I might need another session, Krista, right?
I'll be you ready, you know.
But there's so much that we can do, but we start where we are at. I'm glad that you'll appreciate the knowledge that I've shared today. I continue learning myself. I'm always reading and always learning. If you want to learn more, get financial literacy books. There are audio books. There are things on YouTube, books on YouTube that you can listen to while you're driving in the car in the morning. I have no money for no book. Find an audio book. I don't have time to read. You have time to listen because you just be scrolling on your phone, on TikTok, right? So invest that time in yourself. Angela.
Talking about in looking online, it's just that sometimes what applies away, it doesn't apply to the same thing here in Trinidad. So sometimes the information, you do have the information, but you can't relate to it per se because it just doesn't match up here.
You're absolutely right. You are absolutely right. So they give you a lot of advice, but it all pertains to the US or to the UK or to the foreign markets. And it doesn't apply
Exactly.
here in the direct way. So hopefully
Mhm.
this session kind of helped you as we spoke about things locally here that you can do and places locally here you can invest in, where you can go and get your credit score locally here. Hopefully this has been helpful to you.
Yes, it was. Thank you so much.
You're most welcome. You're most welcome. Deepak, your hand is up.
Hi, good night. I'm hoping you hear me well. I just had to
Yes,
pull
we
on
are.
the mic to thank you for the session because it was very interactive. The way you spoke was very professional. You had everyone engaged, and you added a lot of information that I believe everyone here would be grateful for in certain ways to bring not only more comfort to their mind, but also have them thinking of what better they could do to pursue certain goals that they have in life. And I appreciate the way they did it for us, and I'm very grateful for having you, well, being in this meeting with you as well.
Thank you so very much, Deepak. I really appreciate your kind words. And I hope that you learned something here tonight that you could implement, as you said, to get you thinking at least like, you know what, I need to get started on this wellness journey. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Two things to note. This session will be uploaded to YouTube, and apart from that, we'll get all your social media links, Candice. So thank you again, and we're gonna send it to the group, so everybody can stay in contact with you. They can check out your videos, and they can get advice if need be. So I really appreciate that.
Just before
Absolutely.
you go, I had my hand up there, but I'm not sure if you're seeing it.
Go
Yeah?
right ahead.
Yeah, great. Krishna here. Excellent. Yeah, excellent presentation. I love the idea of how you put across, in presentations like these, is always good to try to make the complex simple.
Mhm.
I think you did a good job with that. One of the things I did see, however, which I've learned, and even for young people, and more so in the situation we had recently there about COVID, the
Mm-hmm.
foundation of most financial plans, or many financial plans, more so personal financial plans, and even from a corporate level, is the whole question of risk management.
Right. Yes.
I think it's
Are
something
you
that we
go right
need
ahead?
to treat with. And secondly, um, the whole question of they understanding fully how to plan from that level coming right up. Most of the young people I talk to now is crypto, crypto, crypto. Yeah,
Right.
everybody want to run into crypto and so on. But it's like trying to put up the roof of a house before you put down the foundation. So I
Mm-hmm.
think there's one of the areas we need to help our young people with respect to planning in that regard as well. Yeah,
I
but
totally
very well
agree.
done.
Thank you so very much for your comments. And I totally agree with you. And that's why I say people want to run into investments first because they just think of that as being the end goal to gain more money, to make more money. But it's not about making more money, it's making more knowledge. If you don't know how to manage, as you say, risk management, we talk about financial discipline, you're not going to be able to manage that money even when you invest it and you gain rewards. So we have to start at the foundation and build from there. Agreed.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll share it tomorrow in the group. So yeah, no worries there. Yeah. Oh, Candice, one question before we leave. What's one book you would
Sure.
recommend everybody to read here tonight?
Oh my gosh, it's right here actually. Let me pull it up. Are you seeing it? Rich Dad, Poor Dad. This is the foundation for your financial literacy. It literally changes the way you think about assets, the way you think about liabilities. Many people think an asset is their house or their car. No, honey, based on Robert Kiyosaki, an asset is anything that brings you money. So if your house is not making money for you, it's not an asset. If your car isn't making money for you, it's not an asset, it's a liability. It's just taking money. You need to start here. Excellent, excellent, excellent foundational book. From here, you can go on to others, but definitely Rich Dad, Poor Dad. My top number one recommendation.
Awesome, awesome. Anybody else have any questions before we break off, or we good to go? I think everybody's just quiet, so I'm gonna take. Okay, somebody unmute the mic.
Do I have another question? We also Angela muted.
No, sorry, nothing comes in mind right now, but I know as soon as we hang up, something will come in mind.
I see we have a question in the messages. How to keep track of
I think
savings
I might
correct
speak.
with one bank account.
Right. My apologies. I was reading it, but I was muted. How to keep track of saving for an item with one bank account. Well, that's going to be a bit challenging. That's why I recommended having not just having one bank account, but having a separate account where you are doing that saving. But if all else fail and you have to have that one account, sorry, then it is going to become imperative that you become absolutely meticulous with your records of how much you're saving and exactly what's going on. It may even reach a point where you need to withdraw all the money that you're not saving and need to spend and use the envelope method and leave the money that you want to save in the one account. You may have to do that if it's one thing that you're saving for. But it will really, really, really require you to have meticulous records. You need to be able to track that properly because then monies are mixed up there. Yeah?
I see Bruce has his hand raised.
Go ahead.
Yeah, hi, good night, Candace. I wanted to find out something. I know that you said you had you do consultancies and stuff like that. Could you post a link for your, I don't know, like you have a social media page or something where people could
Sure.
go to get that
Yeah,
journey
yeah,
started? If you
Michael.
could just post that, it'd be fantastic. Yo.
Yeah,
Great.
we send in all the links in the group, so you won't have no issues there. You'll get on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, email, everything.
Everything.
All right,
And there
niceness.
will be a link where you could sign up for a free consultation as well.
This is fantastic. Thank you.
You're most welcome.
Yeah.
Shivam, you send me the link to the group chat if it's possible, right? Because
Yeah,
I know about the group chat, but I was supposed to ask you inquire about it,
yeah, that's
right?
no problem.
But you just send me the link whenever you get the time, right?
Yeah, that's no problem. And I guess you could see this is
Right.
the type of meetings we have here in this community. I know it's be a benefit to be
Nice.
in the
I
community.
love it. I love it because it's very difficult to find people, especially in a small rural country. And most of the time, we have this mental that, as I said earlier, that we have to go to school, get an education, get a more high paying job, pay off your debts, even say you get married or wherever you hire rich and stuff, and then you're down in a box. You're down in a box, right? Why it is possible? Why it is we cannot enjoy ourselves while we go about in life and so on. So I really glad that I came across this opportunity here, and trust me, because I'm also an entrepreneur, well, a business owner, and it is very difficult to find like out a network assistance, network with other people and stuff and so on. So yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for saying that, Josiah. And I would just add in where it comes to business finances. If you can't manage your personal finances, you can't manage your business finances. It's the same principles that you apply. It's the same methodology. So if people they want to come up with a business. I want to sell candles. I want to sell jewelry. I want to do this because I need money. But you can't manage your own money you have. How, when you're getting business money, what are you going to do? You're going to end up in the same khaki pants. And this is why most businesses die within the first 3 years. Most businesses don't make it to 5 years. Most of them. Most of them, because you're managing your money the same way. You don't know any differently. So gaining this financial knowledge is where it all begins to help your personal, your business, and otherwise. Yeah. So it would be great to network with the other entrepreneurs here. As I said, I run multiple businesses. I started all of them from the ground up. I didn't even think I could start one business, much more to have multiple, because I didn't come from a family that people had business. And so I always thought to myself, like, that's not for me. I don't know if I could do that because, it's not something that I see. It's not something that I see in my everyday, like people that I know. So it can be a daunting task. I agree with you, Josiah, to try to network in that field. Sometimes you feel alone, you can't turn to anybody to ask for information because you don't know anybody personally who is in that field. So it's always great in that entrepreneurial field for us to network together and support each other and support each other's businesses. All right.
I see we have a question on the messages again. In a
Uh-huh.
business, is it better to borrow or use capital?
It depends on what you want to do. As Robert Kiyosaki would say, debt people run from debt. They're like, oh, I don't want to borrow money. I will raise capital. But it all depends because there is good debt and there's bad debt, right? If you're borrowing money to then make you more money, that's good debt. That's okay because you're going to make back that money in 6 months. You're going to make back that money in a year and pay off that debt. All well and good. But to just borrow money to do what? You borrow money and you buy a house because that's the dream they sell us. You need to buy a house. So I borrow money and I buy this house. Okay. The house not bringing you back any money and you have this mortgage now for the next 30 years. Right? So it all depends. For the business, if you want to raise capital, some people raise capital, they save and save and save and save. Might take you a very long time to do that. When will your business get off the ground? But if you're borrowing money to then use as capital to invest in your business, I think that's a smart decision. Yeah. As Josiah said, your net worth is determined by how you network. Absolutely. So thank you so much again, everyone, for staying on. I know we started a little late, and so we went a little later, and I wanted to make sure to answer everyone's questions and comments and concerns. So thank you so much again. All the best to everyone.
Thanks, Candace.
Okay,
Thank
bye.
you.
Bye.
Nice, everyone.
Bye, Candace. Thanks for all the advice.
No problem at all. Anytime.